clicking record. Perfect, perfect. Again, thank you everybody for coming in. I understand it's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. I'm not sure where everybody is. Stacy is in sunny New York, as she is right now, and she told me it's quite sunny today, so it's good. I'm in Singapore. It is midnight over here, so that's one of the perks of working in a company that is global. So I hope everybody is having a wonderful day so far. All right, perfect. We have somebody else from the States.
From Tennessee. All right,
Tennessee.
East
Lovely,
Coast.
lovely. Okay. So we're waiting for just a few more people to come in. Let's just give it another minute. And all right, okay, we got quite a few more people coming in. Perfect. Hope everybody has been, using Vidiofy, trying it out. I believe everybody here, of course, has an account with us because that's the only people we emailed. And everybody does have a free trial with at least 5 free videos. And it's good news that you came in early because we're actually making a change where in the future, all free trial users will only get 3 videos. So count you guys lucky that you guys have used Vidiofy a little bit earlier than everybody else. All right, it is 12:03. I will allow people to come in as they enter. But Stacey, if you're ready, you can take it away.
Great. I think there are people in the waiting room, so
Yes,
we just accept them as they join.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. All right, thanks everyone for joining. As Harz introduced me, I'm Stacey Chan, one of the co-founders of Vidiofy, and we're thrilled. It's been a crazy year for all of us, I'm sure. I think this time last year, maybe some of us had heard of generative AI. ChatGPT was just coming onto the scene. And now here we are, the end of 2023. Happy December. And what we want to do today is really just take a deep breath, look at what the year has been for generative AI, go over a few tools, just a brief overview of the landscape, and introducing Vidiofy, how our team really saw a pretty big gap in the market, a pretty big gap in the generative AI market, we believe, and how easy it is now with tools such as Vidiofy to generate videos from text. So we'll deep dive into the tool. And I think the most fun part is actually going to be pointing you all to really incredible content, really great videos from our existing customers. They're live across social media. They're being used as Instagram Reels, TikTok videos, YouTube Shorts, on web. These videos are also great for SEO. And we're really proud of what our customers are creating. So we definitely want to give them some love and shout outs. And of course, if you have any questions at any time, please do stop me. This is hopefully supposed to be more of a workshop session. Because video is live for anyone across the world to try, you can do a follow along and actually create videos. Hopefully by the end of this webinar, you've actually got some solid content that you want to share, post, show your partner, show your spouse, show your kids what you can do with the magic of AI. So we can go ahead and get started. Oh, I am controlling the slides. Oh, I just give a rundown of what the agenda will be. So introduction to generative AI, you'll see a peek, not even a peek behind the curtain. You can just dive into the deep end of Vidiofy to generate content. We can start our stopwatches also. Hopefully we can get those videos in under 5 minutes. Some of the features that we've launched in Vidiofy to help you actually increase your reach. There's different languages. You can actually create your own voiceovers and avatars. We'll go into the editing tool as well. We found that in the last month that we've been launched live, people do have questions about how to best use the editing tool. We'll go over that as well. And of course, leave time for questions and again, show our amazing customers content. Okay, so as I mentioned, this has been a wild year. Generative AI has fundamentally changed the way we work. Going one level higher, AI has been used in companies for all sorts of reasons, not just content, productivity, logistics optimization. What we at 1B Stories, the parent company of Vidiofy, get excited about really is the generative content space though. We know that content is king for any business. If you're trying to reach your customers, sell a product, create solid branding, educate people about your more niche industry, for example, it's got to come from content. And content has to live across different channels and meet people where they are. And so that's why with generative AI, you can create multiple permutations of the same original atomic piece of content. Whereas if you, my background is in journalism, I loved writing. I love writing. I really didn't like doing video. But so many of these tools now make the lives of people like me much easier because I can create that original piece of content and then use AI to actually optimize it in different formats, whether that's images, slideshows, audio, videos, on all of the channels. So you're exponentially maximizing your output and productivity. That for me is one of the most exciting parts of generative AI, is being able to see how it's going to transform people's content creation workflow. And the way we sort of think about the generative AI landscape is primarily in three buckets. It's much more complex than that, but I think of it as text, images, and video. And this is not even comprehensive. Every week, I feel like there's so many more. There's also newsletters, there's AI newsletters that talk about all the new tools. So I highly recommend subscribing to all of those. Some of our favorites, shamelessly, that we also got featured in. It's also why they're our favorites. There's an AI for that, Superhuman. Shout out to Journalism Toolbox AI. We love all of these if you want to start getting an idea of what is out there. I think with generative AI, don't be scared. I was, when we first started out in this space, I said, what the heck are we doing? There's just so many tools and products out there, but they all have their own different strengths. They all have really great use cases. The only way you can start to get comfortable with this is just start to try. Yes, and of course, Peter's AI newsletter as well, the upgrade.ai. It's incredible. Check it out. So you just got to start somewhere. And the deep end is sometimes the best place to dive in. So in this very popular trending landscape, I'll say, where we as a company started to identify places where we could play was, okay, well, what is the first challenge? We love video. We love video. We believe it's the most engaging content format to grow audiences because of the massive popularity of TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. And as I mentioned, I was a writer, reporter, and I knew the value and the power of video, but it was really intimidating. It's incredibly expensive to create videos and very, very time consuming to create. It would probably take me 5 hours to create a 2-minute video. That in my daily workflow was just impossible. I had many other things to do as a journalist, so it just never happened. And so we said, what if we could help content marketers, reporters, entrepreneurs who are trying to build their business actually create video from just a string of text or an article or a blog post that they already written? So that would be really, really cool. And so from that thesis, identifying that challenge, we're really proud that Vidiofy today does just that. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. You can please follow along if you just go to Vidiofy.ai, Vidiofy.ai, and we're going to start making some videos. Okay, so I'll go straight to Vidiofy instead. Y'all can see my screen, right? Got lots of Zoom tabs open. Sorry, let me just go ahead and close those out. So when you go to Vidiofy.ai, you might have to sign up. So if you haven't already, we just ask you a couple questions, just go ahead and do that. But here then is the magical screen where you get to start dreaming, what do I want to create? And we think the power of Vidiofy is the options, the opportunity to start from really just a string of text, as I mentioned, or a prompt, to an article that you might have already written. A lot of brands, a lot of companies are maintaining blog posts to show thought leadership. They're also very good for Google SEO. We highly recommend creating blogs. It is very important. Speaking on behalf of some Google expertise, as I worked for Google for many years. So you can convert those blog posts. Also, newsletters. Newsletters are a great piece of content. If you've got a podcast, your transcript of your podcast is a great start. But we'll go ahead for today's demo. Let's just grab a URL. So These are one of our wonderful customers, the Muse. They do incredible content about career advice, job hunting, and they're using it in really cool ways. So let's just go ahead and grab their link. In Vidiofy, what we're doing right now when we're validating the link is just ensuring that we can understand the content, that it's not blocked behind a paywall. And we're already starting to do some of the AI magic. We're parsing your article. We're looking at the HTML, looking at the structure, looking at the content itself to start to generate a script of what your end video will look like. This is optional, but what we're doing for the visual component of videos is actually pulling anything from your original article. So in this particular article, we've got a photo of a woman, and that's about it. And that's totally fine. We will pull whatever we can find. Otherwise, we will start to use other secondary sources. You can always upload your own. Say you do have a photo of a woman interviewing, or you can select from stock libraries. Otherwise, we just leave this default checked, use the images from the provided URL. We'll go to next. This is always the fun part. Vidiofy speaks over 35 languages, the biggest polyglot we know. So if the Muse or a brand wanted to expand their reach to France or to China or to Ecuador, you can actually have the output video be in one of those 35 languages. So for demo's sake, since my Spanish is way too poor to even understand, let's just keep it in English. And then we can all see how that video is going. Hopefully you're following along as well. You can use whatever URL prompt you like. This piece is also very fascinating. I think people have lots of, I think people are asking to record this. Sorry, I just got a pop-up, but we are recording the video. So I am going to allow recording. I think someone is asking to record on their third-party software. Again, the more software is the better. So this is excellent. Going back to the narrator. So I'm happy to wax philosophy about this. We can always take this offline. Whether or not voiceovers, avatars provide a certain layer of authenticity, we believe it really does connect you more, engage you more with your customers and audiences. Again, the proof is in the pudding. We can show live examples of how people are using it. Where we think Vidiofy is really cool is we allow custom avatars. So there's a whole drop-down menu you'll see of voices, the default avatars. But if you look closely, we've actually created some for our clients. So these 4 women you see here, these are actually some of our customers. And voila, someone might look a little familiar in the avatar here. I had to initially get over the spook factor, but I have to admit, it really does look and sound like me. I've even confirmed this with my mother. So we do custom avatars and voiceovers really, really well in Vidiofy. But just for the demo, we'll go ahead and say none for now. In the video, when we're converting different pieces of content, we know that a 1,000-word article synthesized into a 30-second video is just a content challenge. You're probably going to get 30 different opinions on what that final script should look like, but that is the beauty of AI. It will train and get better over time. But 1,000 words to 30 seconds is pretty challenging. So we actually do summarize the content that you see from the original text. If you would like verbatim text, that is also a possibility. Just uncheck this box. And when we're talking about the length, best practices for a lot of these social media channels really is in that 30-second sweet spot, likely even less. So what we do, instead of selecting a set number of seconds, because you never know what the video script will be, sometimes it's really, we want a little bit of flexibility. The number of scenes in your video is the proxy for how long the video should be. So we'll just default it to 5. There's also an intro and outro. And we want to be transparent in how visuals are selected. We get this question. This is probably one of our top FAQs. Where are y'all pulling these media sources from? We decided to expose this and be very transparent and show you, well, this is where we're pulling from. So you now have the option to select, unselect. I will highlight that this is the AI generation is probably the most talked about. There are many brands and publishers that right now do not have AI policies yet on using AI generated content. So they unselect this until they've finalize that policy. Completely respect that. Give it a play around. If you feel comfortable with it, I would say leave it. You can see some of the cool stuff that is generated. So once all those inputs and outputs are generated, we can go ahead and do the final piece, which is, what does this video look like aesthetically? What does the design, the storyboard look like? And for all of our clients, we actually work very closely. This is the fun part of the art and science. This is the art piece where our customers do work with our designers to make sure we incorporate your font, your brand guidelines, your colors. So it really looks like a video from the Muse versus some of the templates that we have in our trial accounts. So I apologize, what you might be seeing is slightly different. You do get 10 free templates, all different styles. There's minimalist, modern, bold. Minimalist is my favorite. That's why I always go with this one. But you can choose whatever you like. And then once you're done, you create video. And I always like to put the stopwatch on. It should take a couple of minutes, but let's just go into the editing tool now to see what this looks like. And we can also start to play around with it. I did generate one ahead of time. This was the same guide that we talked about from the Muse, so we can edit. Okay, so there's lots of zoom things. So I'm gonna, oh wait, no, this is not the right one. I wanted the one with the minimalist template. Oh, is our team working on, they're pushing, it is Friday, isn't it? So they're pushing something live. Okay, I told them to make that error message go away. I'm doing a live demo. Okay, so here we are in the video. And I want to point out a few things before we watch it. Because usually what I do is I trust the AI. It's pretty darn good at this point. I'll just watch it. I press the play button down here. It's a minute 13. And I'll say, okay, looks pretty darn good. But if there's a few things I already know that I want to do, in the left-hand rail, this is like designer speak. We're using a lot of the nomenclature that designers use. So actually, to be quite frank, I love getting advice on or feedback on what is intuitive in these editing tools and what is not. But apparently this is the standard for how designers name elements and components. So say I want to change my text. Actually, sorry, let me back up. The philosophy of this editing tool is supposed to be very basic. We want you to really edit minimal amount of elements, amount of things in the video: text, images, videos. We go back and forth as a team on how robust we want this editing tool to be. In an ideal world, you never have to edit at all. The AI is so good that V1, the first pass, is ready to go. We're not there today. I don't know if we ever will be, and I think that's a good thing because content is subjective. Others might think the video is ready to go. I might want to edit scene 4 because I just didn't find that video quite relevant, or actually want to drag the video to recenter around the person's face instead of their hands typing, whatever it is. We want to allow for those edits, not a fundamental overhaul of the video itself. There are phenomenal editing tools out there. I used to use Final Cut Pro to make my videos, Adobe Premiere, amazing. But we are not a full suite video editing tool. We want to save you time and really reserve those last 10% edits for just final tweaks. With that said, let's dive into that, what you can actually do. So say you want to change the text, maybe add someone's byline. All of these edits get made in real time. So you can see the text change immediately. If I wanted to drag the image, because you can see that the text got cut off, I can either zoom out so I can select the fit, I can contain it, or maybe I do want to drag this up. So I just want it to show interview. So I can drag that, etc. All right, that looks good. Maybe this is we're talking about job preparation. Maybe I still want to show a white collar job. So I go, okay, I want to change this video entirely. I go all the way to the right side and I change the video. I can swap out a video for an image, vice versa, image for a video. So I've got my huge library. You can see all of the content that I've ever uploaded in using Vidiofy, because I probably create about 20 videos a day. I can choose from this is the image from the Luma event. I can either swap that out, or I can search in the stock libraries. Another commonly asked question we get are, do I have the rights to use these? Where are you guys pulling these from? We actually do pay for the rights to use these stock libraries. And so we sub-license those rights out to our customers. So go ham. You can use as much of this content as you would like. So we really encourage people to. So let's see. I want a picture of maybe a journalist. I want to show a photo of a journalist. And I want, this time, a photo instead of a video. So you can see from the different icons, the eye is an image, or the play button is a video. Okay, maybe I'll just use this one. And so that just gets swapped in real time. Very easy to change out. Say I wanted to have really cool animation. I want the video to fly in, or fade, whatever it is. You can always change up the animation of the entry and exit of the content itself. What I always check for, I realize how important your music is to your video. That sets the entire tone of the video. So say you didn't like the audio track, you can change it. There's oodles of tracks. I find it sometimes a little too much. It's good for optionality, but I kind of know what I like. I like upbeat. And there's this one track that I really like to use. Now the name is escaping me, but you can search for different, yes, Corporate Triumph. I love this one. So you can always play it, test it out. Makes me want to get back to work, actually. So I swapped that out for the audio. And if you want to, because I don't know if this one has a voiceover, but you can always change the volume, keep it a little bit low, more background music. And if it all looks good, I usually just play, give it a quick peek, make sure things look good. There's our, journalist microphone. We've swapped that out. And that slide felt a little long, so I can always change the duration of the slide as well. You click on the slide itself. Yeah, 14 seconds is quite a bit long. I'm gonna go with 6. And that gets edited in real time, so you can reduce the length of the video. Okay, but yeah, once it's ready to go, you click export and it starts downloading. Depending on whether or not you've got the avatars, the voiceovers, the download can take anywhere from 2 to 4 minutes. Hopefully just enough time to refill your cup of coffee, and then it's ready to go. I will pause. I haven't been monitoring the chat box. Sorry, I had to exit out of this. But if anyone has any questions, please jump in. As I know you're managing the chat box as well, but if anyone has any thoughts, questions.
Yeah, I think it's just that we can't hear the video. Basically, that's it. Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know if
bummer.
it's Zoom blocking it or if you probably have to share sound, I believe. But it could be just Zoom blocking the background info, the background music.
Okay, darn. Because if you guys are also looking for an upbeat soundtrack in Vidiofy, I highly recommend Triumph. It's very good. It's very inspiring. It's a good track. Great. Oh,
there's a question from Laura. Laura asked, "Can you add slides?" Basically.
Yes. And thank you. I was going off script a little bit, but Laura, here's the add button. So you can either add text, image, video. Those are elements. You can also add a slide. How we've designed this, it actually copies a slide. Instead of just adding a blank slide, we believe that copying an existing one actually gets you 80% of the way there, because you've already got now the different elements. So we believed copying a slide was a better functionality than adding, but it really has the same intent. Yeah. And then if you don't like it, where's my slide copy? So here it is. Then you can just delete it also if it doesn't work out. So Laura, I would just pick the slide that is probably most similar to the one that you want to mimic or create, and then I would just copy that one. So up here, you copy. And then here's the default undo, redo buttons. But great question. It was in my notes and I just completely forgot to go over this. And sometimes I know this tool like the back of my hand. I'm like, whoa, it's so intuitive. But yes, please keep the questions coming. Just want to make sure I covered everything else. Another common question we get is the aspect ratio. of these videos. So you can see from here, we do default to optimizing for the 9:16, which is pretty much the industry standard now across social media channels. However, for brands, companies, publishers that want the horizontal video, the 16:9, totally doable. We also offer Square, popular on Instagram, where that selection happens is in your templates. So if you want custom aspect ratios, we design that, and then you just select which aspect ratio of the template that you would like. All right, making sure I'm going over everything. Great. I think now we have time to go over the live examples. Okay, go back to the slides. We're very proud of the customers that we get to work with. They're creating phenomenal content all the time. You can see these are just screenshots of their social media channels. So I'll actually show a few of them live. So this is a newsletter, a CPG newsletter, consumer packaged goods. And it was so cool. I was chatting with this one. We were just sitting next to each other at dinner. And I said, you know, we have this tool, Vidiofy, and I actually think this could be really neat. I would love for you to try this out for your newsletter. And she said, this sounds awesome. In full disclosure, she uses MailChimp. MailChimp does give an RSS feed of the links for all the newsletters. So we just tried that. We we first used the text to video functionality. So we copied and pasted all of the text from her text from her newsletter, and it was able to generate a pretty darn good video. It was even cooler because we knew we had a link. So then it was able to extract, Vidiofy was able to extract all the corresponding images and videos as well. So she posted it on her Instagram reel. You can see she got really excited with AI. We use her avatar. It does, I know her well, so it does sound and look exactly like her. Her avatar, you can see in this like center left. So I love this use case. I'm really pushing for this. I want to keep brainstorming because we know for newsletters, you have a very, very engaged audience already. But how do you acquire new subscribers, new signups? It's meeting people where they're at, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. I absolutely love this use case. Another one that we love, this is one of our first, oh, sorry, I'm gonna mute the volume. One of our customers said, I really need to build out all of my social media channels. We're sitting on hundreds of blog posts that we've written over the years. You're telling me that I can just copy paste the link for every blog post and convert it to a video. And 110 videos later, you can see right here, they're going strong. So this is probably 3 months worth of content, but every day. And it doesn't even have to be a video created every day. You can front load. So I think what Joseph does is like every Monday, he'll just generate 7 videos. And he's got his week's content ready to go. And so he's got the YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, because again, these videos are optimized for every single channel. You don't need to re-download the same video just for Instagram or just for X or just for TikTok. It's already all optimized for you. Another example, this is a really great publisher in France. They write about accessibility and well-being and health. And we love this because we get to show that, oh, Vidiofy speaks French. And they use it to populate all of their Instagram reels. And I do want to point out metrics. I think this is arguably very, very important to creating the content is actually the performance of the content itself. We're seeing some pretty darn good impressions and engagement ratios. So for 8,400 followers, these videos are getting some of these over 1,000 views. That 15% engagement rate is astronomically high for Instagram. So not only are you creating incredible content, we know that it's working. It's getting in front of an audience. It's engaging with them. You're looking at, likes, comments, views. These numbers speak for themselves. And so by not creating this content, leaving a lot of engagement opportunity on the table. This is I wanted to show their Facebook. So they use these videos for Facebook, For Instagram, you can see that they're really, I shouldn't say platform agnostic, they're platform optimized. So you can actually use them for any of your social media channels. And what we hear a lot from publishers is it's a great opportunity to either jumpstart or maintain their social media. So this is because the people within the organizations that we typically work with are either the social media manager or the senior videographer or senior video manager. And they love this because Vidiofy for them is really a productivity tool. We know that companies' marketing budgets are thin, publishers are being asked to do more with less. This is the way that you can finally feel on top of your workflow and generate all of the content that is on your plate that you wanted to do, but just never felt humanly possible. Now with AI and tools like Vidiofy, they actually are. Okay, so happy to point to more examples or answer any questions, but these are our very proud, or we're very proud of our customers. There's people all over the world using Vidiofy. As I mentioned, we speak 35 languages. It doesn't even have to be in your native language. Where I want to start seeing customers use these is to expand into international demographics, expand their customer pool, and we get so many people trying. It's just really fun to test out that language functionality as well.
Yeah, Stacey, actually, if you don't mind me jumping in, I just want to talk about
Please.
Joseph, actually. So if you guys saw Specialty Metals over there, that YouTube account was actually just started right after he decided to become a Vidiofy client. So it's absolutely started from scratch. And he's been, especially in a niche or in an industry that's so niche, right? It's very difficult to explain about gold and silver and scrap metal and stuff like that. So creating videos, especially shorts, to try and be informative is actually very interesting. And even though you can see that that kind of industry doesn't get a lot of views, but it does get business. And Joseph, he's one of our first ever clients, one of our best clients, has actually gotten business, from the videos that he has, created, produced, and posted. Yeah, so that's really cool.
Yeah, that's such a great shout out. Content doesn't always have to be super sparkly and shiny. I mean, I love creating things about travel and a very visual pieces of content. But I think where Vidiofy can be most powerful is bringing visual elements to industries that might be not as visually stimulating. We're working with some construction clients as well. It's really hard, I think, to make really compelling videos from certain industries, but this is starting to be the inspiration and fodder for them to actually reach new clients, to your point.
Yeah. And Peter actually said that his primary social platform is LinkedIn. That's actually very good, Peter. I mean, LinkedIn supports both horizontal and vertical videos. But a good thing is that you can actually take the URL of your post. So if you just make a text-based post on LinkedIn, you can just put it straight into Vidiofy. We can actually pass LinkedIn and then create a video from just your post itself. Right. So, we've seen people do that, and that's actually pretty interesting as well.
Yeah, Peter, I can't believe I forgot LinkedIn. That is one of our favorites. It's probably the one we use the most. Not that we have favorites, but yes, LinkedIn loves video. All these social media platforms, Google as well, they're really pushing for this type of content. They want this video content, and they reward people who are consistent in posting high quality content. So this is absolutely, we believe, the best way to be growing and promoting your business organically. Of course, this is really great content. And you'll see the behavior change. If you can reliably, consistently post content, that your channel starts to grow. You get more followers, impressions, all of the goodness, all of the metrics that we're all looking for. And we believe Vidiofy is that tool because it can work very seamlessly into your workflow. You saw hopefully how intuitive the AI is. You front load at the beginning of the week, you create your content, and then it's ready to post every single day. And it's just, you don't have to worry about it anymore. It becomes part of that weekly routine. You set aside an hour or two, Monday morning, whatever, Tuesday evening, and you get your content ready to go.
Yeah. Another question came in from Elton. So Elton was asking if the LinkedIn carousel can be done as well. So LinkedIn has carousel as a post structure where it's basically a few images and you scroll through At the moment, I don't know if we are able to pull all the images. We got to check that out. Actually, it's a good thing for you and me, Stacey, to check. So we probably would be able to pull the first image. I'm just not sure if we can see all the images, but we can definitely take a look at that. But at the same time, the carousel post structure on LinkedIn, from my understanding, well, not I don't work for LinkedIn, but apparently that is um, getting less support in the future. That won't be as prioritized as much. Um, so that's just what I heard on the grapevine. So video might
Mhm.
be another option, but currently carousel does work the best, and I think that does get the most engagement. But I'm not sure if that's going to be continuing in the future. Yeah, but
Yep.
we'll check for you, Alton, if just from a carousel we'll be able to pull all the different images within the carousel, or if it's just the first image in the post. Yeah.
Yep. And while Vidiofy is super powerful in being able to pull a lot of content, not every web article, blog post is necessarily optimized for scraping or parsing. There are some blockers. What we do when we work with our enterprise customers is we'll create a custom parser to really look at the structure of content, what might be blockers. Sometimes it really just is still a human developer to developer chat. We do some unblocking. So volunteering our wonderful CTO Ravi to take a look into this, Alton.
Stacey, could you, maybe explain a little bit more about, enterprise clients? Because for most people here, they probably see that we have a free trial, we have a pro plan. Could you maybe, deep dive into if somebody wants to get like a clone of themselves, how could they get that?
Sure. So we want to make, well, I think what's so exciting about generative AI at this moment is how democratized it is. We really do want to make this accessible to everybody. And that really means from a price point standpoint as well. So you can go ahead and get on one of our monthly plans. I think it's as cheap as 23 bucks a month. For 15 videos, you have access to Vidiofy. You can use our 10 templates, generate any videos from your text to video, article to video, topic to video. Um, but if you want to go one step further, really make videos that enhance your brand, elevate your brand, make your brand shine. You want that customization. That's where the enterprise plans sit. So with the enterprise plans, you're going to get those custom templates in all of the aspect ratios that you're looking for. You're going to get, whether you're comfortable or not, we're going to ask you to test it out. You're going to get your own custom avatar and voiceover. It is really cool. Especially if you're, I think in the creative space, your likeness is your brand. To put yourself out there, be at the forefront of showing, hey, I know this is not me. This is not actually Stacey, but here's my avatar and you're hearing my voice. You're going to create this very different connection that we're all still exploring, but really cool. If not for the wow factor or the novelty, I would say give it a try. So that custom avatar and voiceover are included in the enterprise accounts. The enterprise accounts are obviously customizable by the number of videos. So that's like in the form of credits. And we're still having lots of conversations around there. How people are proceeding with like charging for generative AI is really interesting too. So when I have those conversations with our customers, we're very flexible. This is new space. It's an exciting space. I'm always learning, and I actually want to hear how other companies are doing this. But we feel Vidiofy is the most flexible, easy to use tool. So we want to provide any custom plan that really works for you and your business.
All right.
Great. I'm
Uh,
seeing a lot of chatter in the chat. Do we have,
yeah,
should I
that's
respond
fine.
to
I'm
these
I'm, I'm
questions here?
replying through text,
Oh, okay. We got the
but keep
text
them coming.
response
Yeah,
and this. Well, they're not
absolutely.
recorded though, right? Should we
Yeah.
ask
So
these out loud?
I'll just talk about a little bit. So one from Zue, he asked, has there been any customer demand for managing consistency across videos in the storytelling, look, feel, brand, tone, etc.?
Yeah, I think absolutely. The videos are meant to be consistent because these are reflective of your brand. So that's where I mentioned with any new technology, it really is important to do that mix of art and science um, to really nail it down from a human perspective first. When you see these videos, do they feel like your brand? Once you have that foundational layer, once you've got that confidence that it actually is going to look and feel like your brand, then we can build upon that. We're not going to drastically change it up. We're not going to do anything radical because this is representative of you. With that said, that's where you can enter in the editing tool. If you start to see, hey, I'm really changing, I keep moving my logo to the upper right-hand corner and increasing the size. Rather than doing that manual task over and over again, that's where we can get smarter and optimize for behavioral changes. So we can make those changes inside the tool for you versus you having to do that over and over again.
All right, keep the questions coming. We have about 4 minutes left till 12. Well, again, I say 12:45 because that's one of my clock. 11:45 a.m.
11:45 a.m.
midnight over here. But yeah, if you have any more questions, please keep them coming in. If you want to reach out to, of course, Stacey and myself, it's Hariz at 1B Stories and Stacey at 1bstories.com, or you can go to support at 1B Stories as well. And for everybody else here, if you actually, well, thank you for attending, but if you want to have a chance to earn $20 in a gift voucher, we're actually collecting reviews on Capterra and SourceForge. I'm just going to paste the link in the chat as well. So if you click the link there and you leave a review, you can actually claim, these are incentivized reviews. You can claim a $20 gift voucher there. But if you have any final questions before Stacey would wrap up today's webinar.
I did see a question from Steve. Hi, Steve. About the enterprise. We also customize too is the ingestion of content or the input. Where we think Vidiofy works solidly well is when you've got a lot of content that you want to convert. So we mentioned publishers or even businesses that are creating dozens of blog posts, maybe hundreds of blog posts, or have a big historical archive. Again, AI is great at reducing those manual tasks. Control C, Control V gets old really fast. If you've got an RSS feed, or you want to start thinking about setting up an API and doing calls every time you publish a new piece of content, we are ready. We are ready to support that from a technical perspective. That's all part of those custom enterprise conversations. So that is definitely something that we can do for our customers as well. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else. The enterprise plans are just very fluid. They're fun. We get to come up with new ideas. We've been working at this. I think we first started this idea about 6 months ago, so we're still new. But the beauty of being a startup is you want a feature, we could probably get that done in a few weeks in our next sprint. Again, Ravi, our CTO, is probably going, Stacey, stop that. But it really is. I've seen the turnaround times, and it really is amazing. We are working with a financial publication, and they wanted to be able to control the animation of the slides and the images. And we thought, we don't really need that functionality. AI knows what's best. Like, we can detect what you're constantly doing. And she said, well, I really want to be able to change the animation. We said, okay. So we exposed that feature. She can now decide if she wants fade, slide left, slide right. I think Laura's question also about the add slide, delete slide feature, that was based on feedback from our customers. And yeah, we were able to prioritize that. So this is, I think, the best part about being a startup is we can move nimbly, quickly. If you've got an idea, that's exactly the feedback we want to hear to know how to pretty much plan our 2024 product roadmap as well.
Perfect. All right, it's 12:45. I do not see any more questions, but again, our inboxes are always available and open. So if you have any further questions after today, again, you can reach out at, you have multiple ways. hello@1bstories.com. That's one way, of course. Everybody gets access to that. But if you have a question for Stacey or myself specifically, again, hariz@1bstories.com. That's HARIZ, or Stacey@1bstories.com. That is available as well. Otherwise, we thank you again for attending today's webinar. This is our first webinar. Hopefully, you've now understood how to create videos in under 5 minutes with Vidiofy. Again, everybody here has a free trial that you can create 5 videos with. If you're interested in our pro plans, that is available at just $22.90 a month if you pay annually. Of course, if you're interested in an enterprise deal for your brand to turn, your blog, especially if you have lots of content and you want it to match your brand field, you can always reach out to Stacey for a conversation about an enterprise deal. Otherwise, thank you everybody for attending. I hope you have a wonderful Friday. If it's Friday for you, for me, it's already the weekend. So thank you, Stacey. Hope everybody has a wonderful rest of the year. and a very, very early Merry Christmas as well. As you can see, I've
And
already
happy
had
holidays, everyone.
my socks, my Christmas socks already up. So thank you, everybody. We'll hope to see you again soon. Stacey, anything else you want to leave them with?
No, thank you all for joining. This is such a fun space to be in. I just highly recommend trying things out, explore, be curious. There's so many great tools out there, Vidiofy included. You get to channel your inner creative kid again. So have fun, happy holidays, stay safe and warm wherever you are, and do reach out to us. We really look forward to working with you.
All right, perfect. Thank you,
All right,
everybody.
cheers,
We'll send the
everyone.
recording right after this. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye.